MGMT, Oracular Spectacular. This is a CD I first listened to when it was new and I took it out of the library, but I bought this copy from the British Heart Foundation charity shop in High Wycombe. MGMT have a new album out at the moment, and every time I hear the initials MGMT, which is an abbreviation for the management, I immediately imagine a sharp, piercing, distorted sound, playing the kind of riff that takes up residence in your head. You don't even need to hear it. Just remembering it is enough to set it off. I listened to this CD recently and it was almost a relief to hear the real thing, rather than hearing a memory going around in my head. I love the first track on this album with that riff, even though so much of it is not to my taste. When artists use non-standard sounds, I will often question their choice of patches or effects, even if the notes being played are faultless. I have never understood why Edwyn Collins chose the lead guitar sound on Never Met a Girl Like You before. Even though I absolutely love Time to Pretend, the first track, I do find the lead riff too grating, and the background synth too distorted, and the singing is just too distant. But who am I to question such success? They remind me a bit of a more dancey Flaming Lips, or a more trippy Moby, with on a couple of tracks a touch of Gary Newman. This album was publicised at the time as being psychedelic. Today that phrase can just mean choosing a sitar setting on a synth, rather than going the whole Ravi Shankar like George Harrison did. I can hear the psychedelic comparison in many of the songs, which have a melodic dreamy quality like early Pink Floyd, or the Pretty Things' SF Sorrow. There are acoustic guitars like the Satanic Majesty Stones, and drums and backwards guitar like the Revolver Beatles. There are 80s analogue arpeggiations and 90s digital EDM filters, exotic textures and modes, and tunes that grab your attention and hold on to it for days on end. These songs are packed with so much happening musically that you can play the whole album multiple times and it will sound different each time. They seem to have been determined that it should never be boring. The other big number on the album is the other big synth number, Kids, which uses similar sounds to Time to Pretend, but has an entirely different earworm riff. Oracular Spectacular, MGMT.